At court services, you'll run into more felons in one day than you may run into a whole month out on patrol. On a high day, anywhere from 80 to 100 custodies here that we're moving all over the place. All right, good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. For the prelim calendar, we'll have Anthony helping out there, and then Lafferty will be going back and forth between 8 and 10. The supervisors here, each day we come in pretty early and we go over all the court rosters and we check for all the high-profile people. We want to know what kind of risk they're going to pose if we move them to a certain area. So that's something we do daily. And then from there we have felony days about 4 days out of the week, and they take priority over all the other movements. They can range from anywhere from 10 to 25 custodies. All right, be safe. Each deputy will go to their courtroom. Before they get started, they secure the courtroom, make sure nothing is left over that could be used as a weapon. Once they secure their courtroom, their day starts. Depending on what's going on in your courtroom, you just act and react accordingly.
Remain seated and come to order. Superior Court is again in session.
Mostly what the bailiff does is prevent things from escalating. And by their presence, by their calm demeanor, by their control over the courtroom, it really stops things from ever escalating.
I think you need a combination of strength and congeniality so that you can interact with people in a friendly manner but be able to take control of any situation that might arise on a moment's notice.
I like interacting with the public, with just people in general. I just want to show the public that we are approachable, we are friendly, we are human.
This is our Figueroa screening station. This is the first area of contact the public's going to have with us.
Sometimes people bring in items into court that are not allowed. Well, we had this come through. It's plastic. It didn't come through on the screener. It's a sharp device that's not allowed here in the courtroom, and so we confiscated it.
Being observant, that will be the number one thing you'd have to be at this station. We have 2 criminal courtrooms that are in the Anacapa building. There are some days when this street will be lined with buses. We have people who may have language barriers from Europe, may not speak English. We're trying to move them out of the way. We're dealing with protective custody type people. We're dealing with certain types of movements where we have to separate them from the normal general population. We've had incidents in the past where we've been moving people that were protective custody because they had become state witnesses, and we had to be very cautious. We couldn't move those guys in public. We had to use one of our black and whites to actually move them back and forth. Those are things we have to be concerned about. We don't know who's walking around the street, what their affiliations are, so we have to be very, very concerned. And again, we use that term a lot, observant, but it's really, really important when you're working here and you're moving custodies around.
I feel so fortunate that I can work in probably one of the most beautiful places in the country, but even more important than that, I get to work with some of the best people anywhere. With that team, and the team of the rest of the deputies down here, I am fortunate.
Everyone works together. It's a team effort. The judges that I've met over the years, it's just been very rewarding.
75 miles to the north of the historic Santa Barbara County Courthouse is the Santa Maria Court Complex, where the Sheriff's Office also provides security.
North County Courts is a little different than the South County. We have 4 court buildings that we're responsible for. In addition to providing security for the courts, we also have the Board of Supervisor meeting and our judges meeting. The part that works the best for us is having our criminal courts, departments 6 through 9, directly over the jail compound, and having the elevator that goes up to each floor, and between those courtrooms we have holding cells. So the inmates are never brought out in public. They're met by the bailiffs at the elevator doors and brought into a holding cell, and then when their case is called, they're escorted from the cell out into the courtroom.
We want to make sure that we search the courtroom to make sure that there's nothing suspicious, and also up here in the front, the jury box, counsel table especially, because we're going to have custody sitting up here in the front, and we want to make sure the chairs are clear and underneath the table is clear. And then also the holding cells, we want to make sure that the holding cells, even though we do the search every day, we still want to do one in the morning just to make sure that nothing was left from the day before, or you don't know what may have happened over the night. There is no communicating with custodies at all, so if you know someone who's in custody, when you see that person, please do not try to wave, mouth words, or hold up signs for anyone who's in custody. I'll give a speech in the morning. I do it because I want people to know what to expect when they come to court, what I'm going to be doing, and it kind of eases their tension if they know an idea of what's going to happen in court.
Our bailiffs are phenomenal. They do a really good job holding down each department that they work in.
I enjoyed that we're interacting with people on a different level. We're kind of bridging that gap where we're more personable, we're more approachable. And I think that the majority of the bailiffs here that I've seen, that's where they're really good. Communicating, building rapport, building bonds with people, building a trust with people, that they understand we do have a job to do, yes, but at the same time we want to make sure we get the court business done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Face the flag of our country, remembrance of the principles which stands Superior Court for the State of California and for the County of Santa Barbara is now in session with the Honorable John F. McGregor, Judge presiding. Please be seated and come to order. You have to be a good multitasker, and you have to be able to focus on many things. A lot of times we'll have defendants in the courtroom, we'll have a full courtroom of people, we have attorneys walking in and out of the courtroom all the time, and so you have to be aware of everything. And so it's one thing to stand up here and just watch the defendant, but really have to keep an eye on the audience too, because sometimes you have people who don't like this person up here at the front because it's a victim or a family of a victim, and they want to do them harm. And so our job is to make sure that everyone is safe in court.
I've had the good fortune to have my bailiff, Deputy Federico Cortez, for 12 years. And it's not only that a bailiff's important for courtroom security, he is polite but direct with the defendants. I can do the same thing, and we can avoid courtroom difficulties.
We also have our treatment court. Treatment court involves drug court, our veterans court, DUI court, and mental health. It's away from the compound. So that entails a transport with deputies going to the compound and walking them through the public courtyard, which is right out here, and to Department 3.
You have to have the bailiff that, first of all, understands this population of people, because remember, we have people that have substance abuse issues and mental health issues. And so they have to know how to deal with that population. And you even see the trust that the clients in this court end up having with the bailiffs. I've always had tremendous respect for the sheriffs, but certainly in the treatment courts, it's a critical role that our bailiff plays.
Nobody really enjoys coming to court, so if you can take and break down that wall, that barrier, just by being approachable and communicating and letting them know that you're here to help with the process, that goes a long way.